Hi, my name is Chris from We Communicate, and in this video, if you give me 5 minutes of your time, I'll explain to you in very clear terms why it's always preferable to book with a solo tutor or a one-person business or a micro business when you're trying to learn a language. I put out a video yesterday that was watched all of 30 times, but it doesn't matter because I'm thinking if even 4 people watch this video I'm making now, it's worth it. If even 4 people know how the language industry, if you will, functions, then it's worth it. I will have saved, so to speak, 4 people. Whether you book classes online, face-to-face, in a brick and mortar building, or online in the virtual space, whether your school is small, medium, or large, they all have the same structural problems, the insoluble same structural problems, which has an impact on the quality of your learning. And I said 5 minutes, I'm going to try and be very brief with this. Put yourself in the shoes of a language school manager. They have a number of teachers which teach languages that the owners don't necessarily master. So here you have 2 choices. If you're at a small language school or a medium language school, you might have 4, 5, 10 teachers to represent a number of languages. But what happens if these teachers teach languages that the owners of the language school, A, don't master themselves, B, have no experience teaching? Well, you get a situation where the owners do not and cannot know what's going on in the classroom. And if you have a solution to this, please tell me, because otherwise, in the case this isn't true, this means that the managers at the end of every day are trying to catch up, are trying to check, they're going to have to check, exactly what is going on every hour of the day in every class of the school they run. So this is true for medium schools, for small schools, for friendly schools, for nasty schools, for unfriendly schools. It doesn't matter. It's a structural problem that you cannot solve. They do not know what's going on in any of their classes. Why? Because they might not speak the language and they don't have the time. So the option is you have to standardize, right? When you start to grow, you become a very large language school. Think of the biggest name you know. They're facing a different problem because you can't build a brand if any teacher does anything they want and teaches their own way. Otherwise it's not a brand. So you have to standardize operations, because otherwise you can't build a reputation, you can't build a brand, you can't build quality. So for this reason you have to standardize the teaching. But the problem is, teaching is a very creative and artistic pursuit. You have to adapt, you have to be creative. It's a person-based, an individual-based pursuit. Any learner who comes to me have their own specific, unique journey. I have to react to that. I can't follow a set program. I can't tell a learner, this is the program we're following, whatever you've done beforehand. Just today I spoke to someone who's Paul. Hello, Paul. From London or nearby. Hello, Paul. And, well, he did a bit of Paul Noble, he did a bit of Asimil, he did a bit of this and that. Well, considering all this, I'm going to try to assess his level. I'm going to assess his level, not try, and bring him to the next level. That's my job. I can't do that with a standardized program. So you're either in a system of teaching where the owners, you can't control quality, which I think is personally an issue, or in something that's hyper standardized, which contradicts the very idea of teaching. And by the way, you don't know if this standardization is any good, because standardization is always a point of view. You know, someone at one point decided, I think this is the way languages should be taught, and we're all going to follow this way of doing things. The second thing to look at, why I say you should always book with an independent or a small tutor, someone's trying to push their own little business on their own, is because of the work conditions. Now you can say, well, Chris, well, be realistic, all working conditions aren't ideal. None of them are ideal. We're all dissatisfied in some way, okay. But very often, first of all, the teachers are contractors, and second, they have really no interest in the success of the company. They have no interest in the success of the school. Every school, small, medium, large, friendly, not friendly, it doesn't matter, always follows the same design. whether by design or not, or by accident, it's always the same thing. Design by design or not, it's a triangle. It's in their interest, it's even a necessity to build a strong base of tutors. At the pyramid, there are the owners, right? And you might say, well, all businesses are like that. Okay, perhaps. I don't know quite what to answer to that. But these people are disposable, especially when it's standardized, of course. If it's a standardized system, they don't really care if you're there or not. You're representing the brand. But remember, teaching takes creativity, elasticity. You know, you have to be happy to do this profession. You have to like people. You have to create. So if you're doing this in bad work conditions, it contradicts that idea also. You want your teachers to be happy. And if you're only getting part-time contracts, which is good, by the way, because very, very few, ask any language teacher you know, it would be an oddity to have a full-time contract with a school. It would be an oddity. It would be abnormal for a teacher to say, I work 40 hours a week only doing this for this language school, and I've been doing it for long, and I'm not a contractor, and I'm employed by the school and everything. It would be odd. It would be odd. So usually what you do is you open your language school, give it a name, post an ad on Indeed. We're looking for language tutors. People come in. By the way, you're a contractor. I can give you 4 hours a week, 6 hours a week, 10, doesn't matter. And a lot of teachers, by the way, work for different language schools, of course. So they are completely disposable. Well, to me, this is an issue because you're buying a service from a language school that's either, well, highly standardized and, by the way, might not work because nothing's proved. I always say, if there was one way of teaching languages, I always say we'd all be doing that. There isn't. It's about how you prefer to teach languages according to the person you have opposite you. So following a standardized principle is highly doubtful in my mind. So it's funny that I posted this video yesterday because today I have just been, I wouldn't say fired, but I've been told, well, sorry, we're shutting down your class. Now the backstory is, I've been doing work for a French school, teaching kids, teaching a French school. It's people who are, frankly, I like. You know, it's a nice little concept. You know, they're going to be the next big thing in Franco-American online high school thing. I thought, yeah, right. And so I started that in August, and it's the same pattern. This is why I'm telling you this. It's the same pattern all over again, whatever language school you work for. My best friend, he used to manage one of those very famous French schools, French schools. He works for them now. He tells me it's exactly the same thing in his school. He's not even in my country. He's not even in the US. He's elsewhere. And even the biggest names, they all do the same thing. So what happened was they gave me a course, and 2 courses actually. There were no guidelines. Essentially, it was complete freedom, and that was it. And yeah, Chris, we believe in you. Do whatever you want and teach these kids. Right? Okay. But today, and it's coming up on the screen now, I receive an email from this school saying, well, essentially, well, Chris, we don't need you anymore because we're shutting down the course. Okay. I had them on the phone. I said, yeah, okay, but there are human beings behind this decision, right? There are human beings. Well, thankfully, I don't rely on it to eat or to survive because I must say we communicate's doing quite well, better and better. I'm happy with, it's not about volume, but, you know, I'm happy, and I don't absolutely depend on that French school. It just proves, it ticks all the boxes. It proves the point. They had no idea what I was doing. No idea what I was doing during the classes. They had no idea. They can't. How could they? There's not the time, not the resources. And the managers, if I can call them managers, were too busy teaching themselves and promoting their school to worry about me. So as I said, money trickles upwards, you know, disposable tutors, and I was disposable. From one day to the next, they said, by the way, we're shutting down your class. And it doesn't matter. But the way they present it is, oh, sorry, you know, it can't be helped. It's sort of like an act of God or something. It can't be helped. Well, yes, you can help it. Yes, you can. You shouldn't have proposed a stupid course that had no future and that were you experimenting with, because what really happened is they were experimenting with me. They said, Chris, try to take this course forward, try to take this class forward. I never spoke to the manager. I never spoke to any of them. They weren't sorry about it. It was just, oh, sorry, an act of God. But they're not losing money and they're playing with people's lives. And every language school works in the same way. Also, this is the climate in which you are learning a language, because, to be honest, I didn't overexert myself for them. I mean, I knew the game, I knew the deal, I knew it would happen. Of course I did, I knew it could happen. As I said to them, it's your business, run it as you want. I mean, you want to shut down the class, shut it down, yeah. Do I matter? No, of course I don't matter. I'm just a person. I mean, who cares? So I'm not angry. Do I look angry? I'm not angry. I'm just sharing with you, this is the way it works. This is the industry that, this is how languages work, and I don't care how established the brand is. Small, medium or big, all language schools face the same problems. Do yourself a favour, book with an independent tutor. You'll get much better service. The person who's launching their business, brick and mortar or online, really wants to go above and beyond. And I would even say it doesn't even matter if they're not that good of a teacher or of a linguist. The likelihood that they really want to go above and beyond and give you something unique is very high. I put out a video on my website, my first sale. Go and check wecommunicate.com, please. I put out a video on the Who Am I section, Chris, on wecommunicate.com. I cried at my first sale. That's how much heart you put into it. I cried. And I filmed myself with this same computer here, with this here computer, because I wanted to keep the moment forever. This release of emotion, because when you're self-employed, when you're a little, I don't like the term entrepreneur really, I don't identify as an entrepreneur, but when you try to create your business, you have to fight so many battles. People who don't believe in you, people even not outwardly criticizing you, but just even the fact of not asking questions. When you don't ask questions to someone, it's like saying there's nothing to talk about. No one's ever asked me, how are you doing with your language school? Oh, you must be so proud. You have 2 customers, 3 customers. Wow, we believe in you. No one's ever said that to me. And a lot of entrepreneurs and self-employed people are grinding away, grinding in the shadows, working 7 days a week until midnight, 1 in the morning, as I do. Go and book with these people. Much, much better. How much better of a service will you get? It can't even be measured. Can't even be measured. I'm telling you, go and check the video. I was crying when I made my first sale. I couldn't believe it. The release of I don't know, emotion, sadness, happiness. I wanted to save that moment. And this is how small guys, such as guys and gals, view their business, or they should at least, because I mean we've employed people, gardeners, who turn up late, don't care, do a shit job, and don't care if you call them again. There are these people, who have the luxury of not caring for their customers, but usually it isn't the case. So this school that just today told me we don't need you anymore hasn't done anything that any other language school wouldn't do. Doesn't matter, money trickles upwards. Disposable tutors on the base, money trickles upwards. They all work in the same way. You just spot them straight away. There are some real people who really want to do something, make a difference, give quality, offer quality. These are the people you want to work with. Yeah, and this school who just said, sorry, we're closing down the class, well, they would all do it, and they all do it. I'm not saying these language schools are dishonest or that they're evil, calculating people. It's not that. It's just that, as I said, small, medium or big, they don't know what's going on in the class, and the only way to know is to standardize. So as a customer, you can never win. Book with the small person. We're well over 5 minutes, but thank you very much for watching. And even if 4 people watch this video, it's worth it. My name is Chris from We Communicate. Thank you very much for watching. Bye.